I am on new medication. Hello and welcome to the sanatorium. Of course, this is a place where no ideas crazy enough do not be discussed. Dearest inmates, today I want to talk about an issue that I endearingly call the mindfuck. Or as probably most of you know it, the mind over matter issue. And specifically, why it is not true. Well, if you look at it, the mind over matter basically says that mind is more important or more powerful than matter, and for the human experience it means your body. So your muscle and stuff like that. And this is certainly all true. We all know it, we all have the same experience. Take for instance when you're really tired and you just need that final push, that final motivation. Or, talking about motivation, if you're feeling down, you're feeling really negative, things and the things you do just seem to be not going quite as well as when you're positive, when you're feeling good and warm and happy. If we want to talk about mind and body, we have to look at the brain. Because brain is what produces your mind. Mind is effectively the product of your brain. And the two are very closely linked together. So for instance, if I would take a soul and open your skull and grab a nail and ram it into your brain, I'm pretty sure that your mind would be affected. Meaning, if we damage the brain, we can damage the mind. If we repair the brain, we can repair the mind. So you can see that those two go together. Plus, brain is matter. It is a muscle. It can be trained, it can be harmed, you exercise with it, it can be changed, warped, all sorts of things can be done with it. And the same is true for mind. Now, that does not mean your mind has no power over your body. That is not true. It is very much connected, as I said before. But you also have to look at your brain chemistry. If you think something, that has a direct effect on your mind, on your brain chemistry, and on the electrical signals that go rushing through your body telling you that, oh my god, this is pain, or something, oh, this is pretty good, oh, yeah, baby, you know, anything. And it is a duplex, it is a two-way street. Now, my lovely inmate audience, I want to get to another point which is called Kalokagathya. Kalokagathya stands for the harmony of body and mind, and yes, you guessed it, it comes from Greek. It can also be translated as beautiful body and virtuous mind. Now, this is way back in ancient Greece. If we look into more recent times, we have Descartes, who was a famous French philosopher, who said something that we know as cogito ergo sum, which means, oh, there's too many foreign words, so forget about that. Basically what he did, he separated mind and body and said that you is your mind. He said thinking, being aware of being yourself, means that you're you, and it's the only reason, the only way how do you know that you're actually real and that you're not dreaming and you're not some illusion or hallucination or something like that. So only the fact that you know that you are means that you are real. Meaning the mind is more important than the body, because the body can be, you know, tactile dysfunction and hallucinations and all. There can be imprecisions. So he made the mind as the most important thing about you as there is. But it's not exactly true, is it? But we can still see the effect of what he did today in this little I think therefore I am. Today's extrapolation can be seen in the jocks and the nerds. Now see, because what we did, we said, okay, we have the mind and the body, some will specialize in the mind and some will specialize in the body. Of course, Descartes himself was probably more like, oh, you know, yeah, body, but you know, you should really not be that much into it. But what we do best, which is we ignore that part and we just separated it. So jocks, obviously, you know, big American football guys who just run around and beat their chests like those big monkeys, you know, and they're like, oh, we're so powerful, look at my body. And the nerds, on the other hand, they're like really smart, but they don't really care about sports. They say, oh, that's just all stupid. It's just like, you know, those little monkeys running around playing with their hoops and their pork skin and all sorts of stuff like that. That's really like child's play. So now we have one party sort of ignoring the other party's strengths and just seeking sort of security and assurance and potentially even invulnerability in the domain they have chosen, Whether it is being really strong, really sporty, or being really smart and really nerdy. But of course, as we know here in Sanatorium, invulnerability and security, they're all illusions. And be that as it may, illusions may be very, very comforting and pleasant to some people, but they are limiting to the human experience, which is lacking for both parties, because it's lacking the unison of the two components, which would equal a more complete human experience. Now, this is not to say there is no specialization, that you should not spend more time on whichever activity is more profitable for you. You also have to keep in mind there's no such thing as specialization in the human experience. You are a human being, hopefully, and you have your body and you have your mind, and they will always be together, and you can't just wave a magic hand and think that one will disappear. That's not really how it works. You can push your body through your mind, and you can push your mind through your body. If you exercise really, really hard and you just feel like you can't go any further, you're sweating, you might be bleeding, you're hurting all over, you're sore, and you think you just can't take that one more step. That is where you train your mind, that is where you train your brain, and as it is a muscle and it can be trained, that you can do more. You can find that limit where you know your body would break down or where you would seriously injure yourself. That is your limit. That is your human experience. And the same way around. If you're just thinking too hard, if you're reading stocks of books, you're watching YouTube videos, preferably one of mine, and you're listening to political debates, and you may feel your body getting weaker and weaker. You get easily tired, you get hungry, you get thirsty, you're not used to being under pressure, your back is killing you, your eyes are hurting. That is your body telling you, stop ignoring me. You know, they say the biggest turn on is your mind, but it is not only how and what you can conceive, but also how do you perform, how things are executed. You know what I'm talking about? So, finally, you should fuck more, dear inmates, or mindfuck to be precise. But of course, this has been but your daily dose of daft. And as always, I welcome your comments, questions, suggestions and subscriptions. And I will see you next time.